Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We continue to do whatever we can to bring you knowledge about living the best life you possibly can to the best of your ability. In any event, this is the toxic behaviors relational list, and so looking at what is a toxic behavior when it comes to relationships is important, and beginning to understand how to avoid those sorts of behaviors is also important as well. So we're going to look at those a little bit more. The inability of one or both parties to be honest first with themselves and then with each other is an important thing to look at. When a person is continually lying, it's because they don't feel that they have either a safe space to be honest, or they don't feel they're going to find acceptance if they are completely honest. The problem with this is that a history of lying will then create distrust. Distrust then alters the foundation of the relationship. So if there is a history of lying in a relationship, getting to the root cause for the lying and the ability to figure out whether the lies told can be forgiven or worked around, that is, finding a way to identify ways that they don't happen in the future and dealing with the root causes for the lying, be it pathology, be it fear, be it lack of self forgiveness, or anything else, is also an important factor in making the decision about staying together. A lot of times people stay together out of history, but the reality of that situation is it doesn't necessarily lead in a positive direction. The next thing to go with is kind of the paranoia piece. A toxic behavior in relationships is constant accusation or paranoia. If a person is constantly accusing you of behaving in a way that's going to hurt them, it's because the trust of the relationship has already been altered. And if the trust in a relationship has been altered, the relationship truly doesn't have a compelling future. Breaking the rules or boundaries set in the relationship and then blaming the other person and kind of throwing out the, well, if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't do that, kind of a tit for tat sort of approach isn't necessarily going to lead to what is necessary for a relationship to remain in a healthy place. Furthermore, the ability of a relationship to sustain challenges is met by the ability of each party to count on the other to make sure that their words and actions remain and stay congruent. Congruency in words and actions is how trust is either built originally or rebuilt when it's been broken. So, the lack of congruency causes problems for a number of reasons, not limited to the fact that when a person cannot trust that the other person is going to be as honest as they would hope the person to be, or cannot trust that the intentions of the person and their actions are going to meet up. It doesn't matter what you say, it matters what you do. The proof is in the actions, not the words, because when words and actions don't meet, the only thing that most people make judgments upon is how a person behaves. If a person does not follow through with what they say they're going to do, then eventually they lose the credibility that they originally had. And once credibility is lost, it's extremely difficult to regain. Understanding that once credibility is lost, it's extremely difficult to regain, can also be problematic for people who don't necessarily want to take personal responsibility for the fact they haven't healed from previous relationships. Now, this could be a family dynamic, this could be a previous romantic relationship, this could be expectations of relationship with self, but if a person is not completely healed, they cannot be a good partner. Remember, the quality of a partner a person is directly related to how they view themselves first and others second. So, when a person is not congruent with their actions and their words on a consistent basis, it means that their view of themselves from an emotional standpoint is negatively altered in such a way that they can't necessarily follow through on what they intend. It doesn't mean the person is inherently bad, but it means their view of themselves is counterproductive to the goal they are trying to achieve. And when a person consistently feels they'll never achieve their goals, it also will change not only their emotional state, but often their brain chemistry in such a way that following through on new behaviors can be difficult. Remember that your relationships are the result of your decisions. So if you don't like your relationship status, look at the decisions you have made in the past in order to establish whether or not the pattern that you're in the middle of is something that you can sustain. Human beings are a result of their patterns. And so, if you desire a better quality of life, creating a new pattern of behavior for yourself is essential in order to achieve that creation. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.